time. This is probably the most exciting video I've ever made in my whole life. So before we start the video, I have launched a business of my dreams, and it's a coaching business. I have now become a nutritionist. If you've previously watched my content or you don't know who I am, my name is Madeline. I post all about health and fitness and lifestyle content on here, on Instagram and on TikTok. And I kind of went semi-viral, and you all know me for this transformation. I have worked so hard in terms of my health and fitness, and it's developed so far that I've seen some crazy results. I've learned so much about cortisol, inflammation, your nervous system. I've learned so much about gut health, and also now studied it so I can help you even more and give you actual advice rather than just sharing my advice from my previous results, if that makes sense. And it's actually really refreshing. I feel like I have a big deep breath and so much off my shoulders now that I feel like I'm not just speaking from my experience, and now I'm speaking from actual knowledge that I've learned as a nutritionist. So today's video is going to be a lot about my eating journey, how I got here, how I transformed my diet, why it works, and how you can also duplicate that too. And also now I can coach you. I can show you how I've seen these results and how we can put it into your lifestyle, and how you can also see these results and hopefully better results. So yeah, that's my new business. Is called CLEAN Coaching. It's the spelling has kind of got the word lean in it, which I really like, because I feel like I associate clean with like whole foods, healthy foods, and it's kind of mixing those elements of being in a calorie deficit, that science behind, you know, losing body fat, all of those things, looking your best, feeling your best, but also mixing that with whole foods, healthy eating, rather than just like if it fits your macros kind of energy, you know what I mean? Or like eating whatever and fitting anything in. But a lot of the time we can lose that aspect of health and how they actually serve a way bigger purpose to see the body of your dreams, especially as females. It's always like those things, yes, on pen and paper are low calorie or are better macros, but that's why I'm going to talk about my experience of how I felt like they were giving me the results, but not the results I was after. And that's why I'm going to show you. I'm actually going to put it right here. So this was my 3-month transformation. So this is what I look like 3 months later. You can see I'm still puffy. Like, you can tell I've lost body fat, but why is my face still puffy? Why is my body still feeling like I'm holding a lot of water? I'm not quite there with terms of my goals. And the only thing that changed was my eating. Also slowing down as females. Like, I feel like a lot of the time coaches, not 100% of the time, and a lot of people understand prioritizing rest, but especially females understand that rest is so important for results, and also where all the magic happens. And I know it feels so unproductive, but it's kind of that element of like, I really learned how to slow down. I really educated myself on your nervous system, how stress can be such a huge factor in fat loss, in inflammation, in puffiness, in your gut health. And I learned so much about that in my nutrition course as well. So I actually can't believe I can say I'm a nutritionist. It's honestly wild, and it's so amazing because I feel like I can genuinely now help you and help you see the results. So before we get into the video, I want you to know that if you are interested in coaching, you can sign up to CLEAN Coaching. I'll put like a little link below. And it's all personalized. It's literally completely customized to you, and anybody can start. Anybody can do it. We're helping absolutely everybody, which is really exciting. And you just go on there, have a little look around, see if it's something for you. But even if not, I'm just excited to help you in this video and kind of share my journey and what I've learned as a nutritionist, and how I can possibly help you transform your diet and start eating healthy. So this is kind of going to also be my journey of my diet, but also 101 of eating healthy and how to start eating healthy and eating clean, if you will. So I guess where I started, so if, like I mentioned, I went from if it fits your macros, I was eating those like low calorie pizzas or like high protein pizzas, and they just blow your stomach up. I was eating a lot of protein bars. Protein bars are like the biggest culprit. Like, I feel like a lot of people know that. They have a lot of nasty ingredients in them. A lot of them, not all of them though. Like, there are some ones that are just so unbelievably good for you and people just get it. But there are some brands that are just like, we just care about like the lowest fat, the lowest carb, and like the highest protein, and that's the purpose it's gonna serve. But I think that you can get more bang for your buck when you are kind of like eating whole foods. You have the option, you can have a protein bar like this, or you can have a whole, you know, bowl of whole foods for the same calories, and you're getting fiber and nutrients, and you're actually going to feel satiated rather than just like a quick fix. And I think that that's what's miscommunicated, is you feel like, oh yeah, these things help me, and they can, absolutely, but you kind of treat them like that, as like, okay, I feel like I'm craving this is my alternative, or like I feel like I need like a really something sweet, but I've low on my protein. They are to help you solve those problems, but they're not there to be relied on, which is what I was doing. I was relying on these things to stay on track. But if anything, they were pushing me further and further and further off track, the further I was going away from eating whole foods and everything like that. So I was eating those things. What was another one? I was definitely inflaming my body with a lot of different seed oils. It's very, I feel like it's not controversial, but some people believe in it, some people don't. I believe in it because I saw the difference in my body when I took out these inflammatory oils and I realized everything was in it. It also could mean I just stayed away from a lot of packaged things, and when it was packaged, it was very clean, and it was very, very healthy for me. So I think that that also obviously helped with my inflammation a lot. But it's understanding that the key behind this switching to clean eating is two things, and eating healthy is fiber and volume. Okay, so volume essentially means, like what I mentioned, you can have a protein bar or you can have a whole bowl of food for the same macros, and one's going to make you feel full, satiated, help you towards your goals, help you with your blood sugar, vitamins, minerals, literally do everything for your brain function, your energy, everything. Like, these foods are designed to actually help you recover, see the results that you're after, whereas this is just that quick fix band-aid. You know, you need the macros, this is what it is, right? So understanding that difference of like volume eating and how powerful it is. And so many people comment on my videos being like, you said you're in a fat loss phase, how are you eating so much? And I'm just smart, I'm smart with it. I learned how to volume eat. So essentially it's like, okay, how can you bulk things up? I even bulk up my snacks. Like, if I'm having a snack, like if I'm having, I rely on fiber a lot and protein when I'm having a snack. So like cottage cheese, and I had like a side of like fruit with my cottage cheese, and like that was like getting my protein in with some extra fiber. Or I would have like a date and an apple and then had my like dark chocolate on the side. So then it actually fills me up. I'm not just having 2 squares of dark chocolate and being like, well, I could just sit with the whole thing. Like, it's not satiating me. So it's just about adding those little things in that can make a huge difference. Like, you can still eat all the things that you want, but pair them with things that are actually going to feel like you're satisfied and satiated and help you towards your goal. So it's like those things. When I'm craving chocolate, every time I will have a date and an apple with it, and I'm full. I'm like, I feel so good after it, and I feel energized, and I feel satiated essentially, and I feel satisfied with it. Even for my desserts, I make like the most extravagant yogurt balls. I'll put a picture here. My goodness, they're just like my favorite thing ever. And you bulk it up, so like you can put chocolate chips and cereal and stuff like that, and I add a bunch of fruit, and it just bulks it up a lot too. And add little things to help make that could just be a tiny little dessert bowl of like 4 chocolate chips into like a whole big bowl, right? So volume eating with that sense, and that's why, you know, it works. Like, healthy eating when it comes to volume and fiber and vegetables and all those things, they actually work. Like, they're serving a purpose. And that, when I studied, it actually made a switch in my brain. When I started realizing, okay, all of these foods actually have a purpose. Like, these vegetables are high in fiber, they add volume, they're going to keep me full, they're going to add nutritional value. And a lot of the times, fruits and veg, when you put on the side of a protein, they help you absorb those things. So something I learned was vitamin C, if you pair it with your steak or with your meat, it actually helps your absorption of the iron. And vitamin C is actually used to help absorb a lot of the nutrients in our food, and that's why it's really important to put fruit and veg and stuff on the side of your meals. So I viewed oranges, oh my goodness, was a huge one. I viewed them so differently. Now I see them as like medicine. It's like, and it's helping my body actually absorb those nutrients and everything like that. I feel like I could go on for so long, but understanding, that's the next thing, is understanding each element of food and the purpose that they serve. So now you see protein as something that keeps you full. This is going to preserve your muscle while seeing the results that you want, and you want to preserve that muscle even if you're not hella into the gym and you're not somebody that's like trying to actively build muscle. The reason why protein is so important is because as we get old, and as we grow up, our muscles will deteriorate, and it's actually such a huge protection for our body to preserve that muscle, and it's so, so important, especially the more that we age. So that's why protein is so important, and it also can keep you full, give you energy, help you recover. There's just so many benefits to protein as well, and that's why everyone raves on about protein and why it is amazing. So understanding why you need protein in your diet. Carbohydrates are nature's energy. Like, caffeine energizes your brain and carbs energize your body. So that's why if you mix them together, they're incredible. I try and limit caffeine. Now I'm like more into my health journey, but if you're starting off being healthy, maybe make those swaps of being like, okay, maybe let's just reduce my caffeine a little bit. Where's my carbs? Where's my hydration at? Even understanding the benefits of water. And that's a great one. If you're wanting to eat healthy, start by incorporating like an electrolyte or coconut water. That's actually my pre-workout, and my workout drink is literally coconut water. I now don't rely on like pre-workouts and all of these recovery supplements because that gives me everything that I need. So coconut water is something that I absolutely love, but hydration, water, coconut water, stuff like that, you can start making sure that you're getting on top of your hydration, and also figuring out where your carbs are. Am I having them? Do I struggle with energy? Do I struggle with an afternoon crash? Maybe I just need an electrolyte or some coconut water and some carbs. So I have carbs in the morning. I really load them in at lunchtime because I know I have that afternoon crash. And then in the afternoon, I'll have like carbs and fiber and everything like that to really make sure that I'm sustaining my energy throughout the day. And it's so funny, ever since I studied and I switched my diet as well, and I've been really focusing on that, I never have energy crashes. I feel like I'm just like Superman. I'm on top of the moon with how healthy my body feels and how energized I am because how I'm structuring my diet. It's 10 p.m. and I'm either like so awake, and then as soon as I hit my head on the pillow, I'm like asleep. And it's crazy. I have the best sleeps ever. Wake up, and I can't believe this has all been done through change of lifestyle and change of diet. So understanding the elements of that, and also understanding fats. So fats are really, really important, that you're getting a certain amount, not only to like a certain amount to help achieve your goals, but also a certain amount for your hormones, and also a certain amount for your fats are so important because it actually grips onto a lot of the nutrients and then it stores it in your body. So if you don't have it when you need it, maybe you're getting sick or something's happening to you, or you need a certain vitamin, your body extracts it from the fat. And that's why fat is on our body, is to serve a purpose. Like, it's not just there for funsies. It's there to actually keep it for later and be like, okay, when we need it, we've got it. You know, we can pull it from there and we can use it where we need it. And that's why fats serve that purpose. So powerful. So once I learned all the benefits of each different food group and what these are in it, so carbs are going to be bread, rice, potatoes, sweet potatoes, huge one. And what makes a really healthy carb is when it's high in fiber. And what that means is that essentially it's going to be a slow releasing of energy. So think unhealthy, more carbs are like carbs that are sugars, and that will kind of give you that spike, but it will give you that crash. Whereas fibrous carbs will give you that slow releasing energy over time. That's why for lunch I have like really high carb, making them quite complex in the terms of fiber and everything, so that I'm really getting that sustained energy. And I love snacking on sweet potato because now I'm like, that is my caffeine, like that. This is going to energize me. And I think that that's actually the knowledge behind it has what's really motivated me to eat healthy, if that makes sense. Because I think you know it's good for you, but when you know the reasons why it's good for you and the purpose that it's serving, it kind of hits different, you know? So that's kind of what your carbs are. Your proteins are chicken, steak, beef mince, turkey, beans, salmon, fish, all of that sort of stuff, tofu, all of those things, they're your proteins. And like I mentioned, they're there to preserve the muscle, and that's their purpose. And fats are things like avocados, cheeses, nuts, seeds, stuff like that. That's why eating a healthy meal to me is about 50% carbohydrates, 30% protein and 20% fats. And it's just about proportioning your meals in that way and making sure you're hitting all of those things. And then obviously relying on whole foods and clean versions of that is gonna really deliver you those best results, okay? So like you can rely on fats as being mayo, or other things. Oh, that's another one. Eggs is so good. Protein fats, so unbelievably good. But relying on fats like high fat sauces and seed oils and fried food that's really high in fat, but it's not serving any purpose for your body. It's not giving you that nutrients. And I always think, I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna store this for a while and my body needs it for later, and that's why I'm having this fat so that it can hold on to those vitamins, I wanna make sure it's a good one. You know, I wanna keep it in my body for a little bit. And that's why you feel like when you have these bad foods, maybe that you really don't feel good for a little bit. And that's kind of how I process it in my own brain. And that's where you can really hold a lot of that inflammation, is again from those seed oils and those bad fats. That's a whole other video, and there's a lot of detail that goes into the coaching as well to help you if it's something that you want to do. I'm not somebody that, you know, these coaching programs and everything that I'm about it's at your pace and at what you want to do and the best of your ability, because that's all you can do as well. And I didn't start here. I didn't start with no seed oils, only whole foods. Like, I didn't start here. It took me years and years of like progressing my diet, figuring out different swaps, things that I liked, and then making it healthy. And you can do that. So it's about figure out your favorite foods and be like, okay, how can I make this like a healthy version? And then that's how I got being healthy. I stopped relying on these like fast, quick fixes, and I started being like, okay, if I like pre-made meals, what's my favorite pre-made meals? How can I do that quickly and make it a meal prep? Then it's my own. These protein bars, how can I do it myself? What's something that's quick and easy and convenient that's gonna deliver me the results of that? So then I started figuring out, okay, maybe I just need to put more protein. Rather than trying to fix the problem with like protein bars, maybe I can just add a little bit more protein to all of my meals throughout the day. And then I was a lot more satiated, and then I could have snacks like chocolate and dates and things that are actually giving me the energy. And so I think where it starts is if you're wanting to start being healthy, like I mentioned, water and your breakfast, okay? They're really not lying when they say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and breakfast for champions, all the things, because it really is. And I was somebody that put breakfast off as long as possible because I wanted to save my calories. I always talk about that because I feel like it's so relatable. But breakfast is important. If you can just get a solid breakfast, get some water, make sure you're really hydrating yourself, that is a really, really, really great start. Meal prepping is something that's absolutely incredible if you can start doing to create that healthy lifestyle, and eating foods that you're making and that you're doing. And you can make convenient foods without, like, if you hate cooking, there are some things that you can do and make that feel easy, you know, that only take you 10 minutes, but are giving you that whole foods, and it shouldn't be complicated. And I think that there's this stigma around healthy eating, and I was a culprit of that too, that I need to spend hours in the kitchen, or it's some crazy bean halloumi salad chickpea situation with crazy kale and like couscous and all these random things that, like, it doesn't need to be that complicated, and I'm here to simplify it and make it all clean and tie a little bow on it for you. But yeah, so if you can just have a solid breakfast and get your water in, that's a really great start. So breakfast, my favorite breakfast, and the breakfast that I was having every single day on this fat loss phase, and that was really, really helping my inflammation, because if you don't know, I followed this 30-30-30 rule. Essentially, you wake up in the morning and 30 minutes into waking, you do 30 minutes of exercise and you have 30 grams of protein for breakfast. This is so far from what I was doing. So now I do the walking like fasted because I feel like it builds up my appetite. But you know, sometimes I'll wake up and I'm starving straight away. I'll eat breakfast and go for a walk. You need to like figure out what works for you. And that's what I love about the nutrition space in general, and about me personally, and also helping others. They always say you need to feel out what your body likes. Like, the rule is not like a rule, there has to be a certain way. You can manipulate it in a way that you like. So I personally now I like doing my walk, getting my appetite up, and then eating breakfast. But if you wake up, eat breakfast, and just get on your walk within that like 30-minute hour space, so good, so good. So every day I had a piece of toast with cottage cheese on it, honey, and then side of spinach. Spinach is really high in fiber, but also it actually levels out your blood sugar, which is really, really great for your body's stress, also really good for you in general. And I eat that first because that's actually going to level out your blood sugar the most when you eat that first. So I eat always my little wilted spinach first. I just do it with a little bit of water. And then I have sauerkraut for my gut health, because gut health is so important, and it will also set you up for the day really well if you have things that are going to help you with your gut health, and the sourdough as well. So that serves that purpose. That's carbohydrates. The cottage cheese is going to be your proteins, a little bit of fats there, and then your egg, a little bit of fats, protein as well. But I found it really hard to, like, unless you're using like a ton of egg whites, to bulk up my eggs, and I sometimes didn't want that many eggs, so I just have one egg white, and then I finish off my protein with the cottage cheese. There's like 5 grams of protein in a slice of sourdough as well, and that kind of gets me that 30 grams of protein, and it's adding those little bits, and I feel so unbelievably full because there's so much fiber in it, there's carbohydrates, there's your healthy fats, and there's your protein. So that's like the most perfect breakfast. But if you can find a breakfast that you're like, okay, I'm getting all of those elements, it's 30 grams of protein, I'm feeling really good. Honestly, how you start your day can actually set you up to win for the rest of the day. And that's why I love having like greens and different things for my health in the morning, supplementation wise. They're not necessary, don't get me wrong, you don't need these things, but little habits and things that actually help me want to be healthier and make better choices throughout the day. So that's why just focus on your morning, and also focus on your water, and the other things will kind of like come and compound over time. So that is like my 101 of how to start eating healthy and how to eat healthy, the purpose of your diet, how powerful it can be. You'll find things will change. Like, you think that these things might be normal right now, like bloating and low energy and bad mood and all of these things that I just thought was so unbelievably normal. Like, I thought my face was round. I'm going to show you a picture of what my face used to look like. I just thought that's how my face was. I thought, oh, how are these girls getting so snatched? Literally just realized they're just less stressed than me, and they're eating probably better foods, and my body was so inflamed from all the stress that I was putting it under, and I realized like it's actually so beneficial just to chill out and relax and let my body relax. And I feel like eating healthy does that for my body, and eating these processed foods are stressing my body out. And you'll find your mood becomes better, it becomes easier. It's really hard at the start because you're kind of addicted to that sugar, if that makes sense. So it does get a little bit difficult, but I was finding things that I could rely on that were healthy, that weren't spiking that sugar craving, if that makes sense. Like dates and chocolate and dark chocolate and things like that were really helping. And also on the weekend, allowing myself to have the things that I was craving and creating that balance, because you don't want to create any restriction, because that's just going to lead to binge, and we don't want to do that. We're not all about that here. So on Saturdays, like, I'll just go to the movies and pick a movie snack or go out for dinner. But you know what, now I'm going to be so honest with you, and you're going to think I'm crazy, especially if you're getting into it, but this is kind of where it is, and this might be a goal for you, that I don't really want to do these things. You'll find that these foods, when you eat out and when you eat these unhealthy foods, you'll get these reactions from your body, and it will really show you now how not beneficial they are for you, and you'll start wanting to eat healthy and wanting to eat clean and everything like that. But balance is, yeah, super important. But I hope this helped you and helped start your healthy eating journey. And again, if you're interested in my coaching, it will be available in the link below. You can sign up and get started, and we can start learning about you together and start helping you along this new healthy journey. I'm so excited, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.